Raiders,
and welcome to the Night Raid. This review is for The Walking Dead,
Season 6,
Episode 10,
entitled
The New World.
I'm Ken.
I'm Eon.
I'm Anastasia.
Yeah!
I thought we were going back to redo the entitled. I thought that was practice.
No.
Oh.
All right. So, first and foremost, what do you guys think about, making Rick Schoen canon?
No.
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 How about we just don't? It's all a dream. He got hit in the head by the door.
For real. How about the whole episode was just a dream?
Yeah.
I wish.
I would be happy with that.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be. They've already led into the next episode.
No, it totally won't be a dream.
No.
They totally were as dumb as they were made out to be this episode.
Oh
the
my
Rick
God,
Schoen
this
thing
whole
totally
episode.
happened.
That was the most sensible thing that happened. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know what? Here's the thing. There are plenty of people out there who ship Rick and Michonne and...
Who ship Rick?
Those people are...
I ship Rick.
I ship Rick.
Just Rick.
Just Rick.
All by himself forever.
Okay, I could ship this season's Rick with season 3 Rick. Like, I could ship Rick and the Rick-tator. Them together. That would be a great relationship forever.
They complete each other.
You complete me. So yes, Rick Schoen was confirmed this episode. I don't personally have anything against it. I just think that it was a little weird on the writing. I mean, you could say it was like a coping mechanism that he ended up with her so quick right after Jesse dies.
Right.
I'm kind of wondering if Michonne started getting death flags this episode.
Yeah, with the whole Carl bit.
And then Rick and her doing their dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd do it for you.
So we'll see exactly how that progresses with her. If getting into this relationship with Rick is like doom, because that's just kind of what happens. You fall for Rick, you're with Rick, you die. That's potentially what's going to happen here.
It's the James Bond theory.
I haven't
Just
watched
look at
enough
his
James
last
Bonds.
girlfriend. Her entire family died.
Well, Michonne doesn't have to worry about that because she don't have a family. All her friends are dead.
Now let's talk about the real issue with this episode.
Oh God.
The issue that we lost an entire truckload of food and product for soda.
Name for Rick and Daryl.
What?
We just called them Dick because they were so stupid this episode. I was gonna go with Raryl, but that was really stupid.
Sounds like a Pokemon. Like Raryl.
Well, so I changed it to just Dick because they're dumb.
Alright, I can ship Dick this episode.
The D!
The D!
The D!
That was the best part of this episode. We should have recorded live because whenever Michonne and Spencer were out in the woods with the grave service and they carved the D into the tree trunk, she's like, man, that's a nice D. And we both just kind of looked over at her and she's like, not D like that.
My actual words were like the letter, not like D as in Dick.
But yeah, I could ship Dick this episode.
Well, no, I don't ship Dick because they made a mess of a lot of things.
Dicks do make messes of a lot of things.
As soon as I got that fucking truck, I was like, no, they're gonna stop somewhere. And then they show the gas station, and I'm like, fuck, they're stopping at the gas station.
The only thing I can say here for comic book readers is it's important that they lost the truck because at least they gained Jesus.
Yes, our savior.
Yes, so they did find Jesus, which is good. In the process, though, they lost food for probably a very long time.
And it wasn't just food. He picked up, like,
Toothpaste.
The toothpaste!
It's like someone packed that truck and then they died.
No, somebody actually whispered into Eugene's ear. He specifically said sorghum. Go check out the sorghum.
I doubt anybody's been smart enough to check there.
Yeah, one of the zombies whispered to him.
That was actually a whisperer who whispered to him. Anyway, they find this truck just stacked full. The first thing I thought of when Rick's like, we'll take a different way back and we'll come get the car later. I was like, no, that's not ever gonna happen now. You should have just gone back the way you came. Could have dropped off the truck.
They made a lot of stupid mistakes in this episode.
They did.
But taking a different route was not one of their mistakes. Yes, theoretically it would have been, and it could have been, but they wouldn't have found Jesus, which, if he is the same Jesus from the comic books, is a good thing. The one big mistake they made was chasing him with a truck. If they wouldn't have chased him with a truck, there wouldn't have been a problem.
Actually,
And then what was the whole point that he was like, hey, look, a barn. Let's go tearing through a field in our box truck.
I really have been super confused by all the choices, and I was confused by the scripting of this episode.
Oh my
I
god.
felt like the script... Okay, maybe I just felt like the script was really weak because we came off of such a strong episode. But this week's script was just kind of all over the place. They made
bad.
irrational decisions. Why would Rick want to tie up a guy on the side of the road? That's not in his character at all. It was just like, oh, I'm going to tie you up. I know you can get out real quick, but, you know, whatever. And then, bang, 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 I hear, you know, knocking on the top. Bop, bop, bop. So they slam on the brakes and throw him off the front, and he's standing right in front, and he takes off running, and then Rick's like, I'm going to chase him down in my box truck.
I would have left him.
You accomplished your mission. He's not on your truck. You're leaving him. Unless he was thinking like, oh man, I can't leave him here because if we drive off, he'll just follow us like we followed him. But couldn't he have done that the first time?
Maybe he was thinking that he had ridden so long that he'd actually seen which direction the community, you know, where his home would be.
But when they get back to Alexandria, it's labeled the Alexandria Safe Zone.
Yeah.
So it's not like people just walking by and they're like, hey, what's that giant fence? It's like, oh, hey, look, that's a town.
We'll look it up. When they first pulled up, I don't remember if there was a sign that labeled Alexandria as a safe zone. If there wasn't, then we may have got a sneak peek at the essentially like new entrance for like the free cities. We're set to assume that Jesus is in fact a good person because he did pull Daryl's gun, could have killed him, didn't kill him. We have the evidence to support it because he did not kill Rick and Michonne while they were sleeping in the bed. He clearly wants to show them something, and now that they've shown him like, oh, we have a city, I think he kind of wants to be like, I want to show you my city. I definitely see we're going to be going to his camp. He wants to show him something.
There's other
Then-
communities out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we know there's other communities out there, but close by.
It's a very strong possibility that there's one or two or more communities. Clearly, Negan's gang came from somewhere. They have a stronghold somewhere. And I highly doubt Jesus is a part of that group, but if he were, this is a really good trap that he's setting, and I don't really think the group's going to be very trusting of it. Because let's face it, they've walked into too many traps.
Yeah.
Unless this episode is a prequel to how the rest of the series is going to go, and everybody just got instantly stupid over the last 3 weeks.
It's like nobody was themselves this episode.
And the sad thing is that I think they wanted to use the passing of a couple of weeks to kind of explain away some of these changes. Carl's acting all moody.
But yet is completely fine.
Enid is acting weird. She's always acted kind of weird, but now she's being all moody too.
Well, and the other thing was before, she would go outside the walls all the time, and now when she was out there with Carl, she's like, I don't want to come out here anymore.
Maybe
Why?
she got really scared.
The whole thing was that she made a change last episode to be like, oh, like she's stepping up now.
Right, but
Like,
that's
she
actually
showed
why.
That to Glenn.
In other words, she's saying I'm not a kid anymore.
But then she hasn't done anything to help out these however many weeks she's been like hiding out.
She might be trying to figure out what she needs to do to become a part of the group. So she's got to kind of find her own place and own way, and she'll end up talking to Maggie. That's what it'll end up being. Then you've also got Michonne kind of acting weird right off the bat. You know, the thing is, when she came out in that towel, I was like, oh, no, don't tell me this. Don't tell me
I
this.
know, I was like, man, Rick Shone's already happened.
I thought so, too, because obviously time passed.
And we've never seen her like
Maybe.
that open.
Judith clearly looks a little older. She's at least, you know, crawling around, doing her own thing, toddler style. The city's completely pristine.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
blood stains on the sidewalk. What I did catch was that they're starting to build a wall on the inside of the city. So in case, you know, something happens again where the wall falls, they have like a secondary wall. However,
You don't have sightlines everywhere anymore.
however, what I'm thinking is we're actually setting up for Negan and the gang. Now they have places to hide behind when they're shooting at each other. If a fight breaks out or whatever, they have places to
Honestly,
hide inside the
If
city.
they were going to do something like that, as logical as it is to build a wall on the inside, like for the purpose of if the wall falls, at the same time, wouldn't it just be more logical to maybe build a secondary wall right on the outside of the original wall?
I think it's for a purpose of like fallback value.
Think about how castles were built back in the day. You have one big wall around the entire city, and then you have the citadel which is a small one because it doesn't take a lot of materials to make a small wall.
They wanted to expand outside the wall anyway for farming purposes.
Yeah, but they're thinking in the short term. They need immediate solutions. If the wall falls again tomorrow, they need a place inside to get to save everybody. Do I think building another wall out there is a smart idea? Yes, because I have no idea why the supports go to the outside. Someone can just walk right up them. We've already seen that happen. What else happened in this episode? So, Carl and Ingrid.
Enid.
God, sorry.
Ingrid?
I'm like Game of Thrones.
That's Egret.
Yeah, I'm combining the two.
Yeah.
They went out of the wall. We're like chilling out, reading a comic book, doing nothing out there.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Oh, because we're kids. What?
And he was totally waiting for Deanna.
I don't think that he was waiting for Deanna. I think that might be giving him too much credit. I think he needs to get out of the city. I think he's tired of being in there. I think that he's going through some mental distress because of the accident. So I think he just needs to get away from people for a while. And it just happened to stumble into that. Now, you made a good point when we first saw, because I was like, man, who would be out there that he didn't want to kill? And I was sitting there like, who didn't we see this episode? Did somebody die in the last 2 weeks and they're going to have a big reveal like, oh, we killed Glenn off and
Yeah,
didn't even tell you.
See Glenn.
We're not even going to let you see it. We're just going to let you know he's already been dead. We're not going to even tell you how it happened.
That's why they showed us his name rubbed off.
Yeah, like they made it a point to show like Glenn's name had been rubbed off the list, even though we already knew that, but they reinforced it this episode.
Yeah.
But you made a good point because you were like, it's what's his name?
Ron.
I could totally see him carrying a like vendetta and just letting him roam around forever as a walker outside of the gates. He's just like, don't kill it.
But at the same time, I don't think it would have been that because they kind of reconciled right before Ron died. Carl grabbing his hand.
But then he was like, I'm going to shoot your dad, and then I accidentally shoot you in the eye.
By the way, I did look at the shooting footage. If you look like right here, you'll see that his hand is like this, and he's shooting that way. There's no way he actually shot Carl in the eye. He shot the wrong direction. So Deanna finally got put down, put out of her misery.
Which I guess she died before she could
kill herself.
I
think she ran out of bullets because she was like, I'm just going to kill as many as I can.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But still, how long would she have been in there?
And the other thing was she didn't look to have any other bites on her.
How did she escape the lake of fire? At some point she had to have escaped the town? That's what I'm wondering. She
was crawling through
Maybe
town.
Maybe the fire went down before she actually got out of the house.
I doubt it. They would have probably killed her if they saw her walking across the street.
She must have gotten out before the fire then.
Man, she must have grabbed Bob's leg and she must have bounced.
Yeah.
She wasn't even dying in no fire. No, not today.
I don't even know what that face was.
It was a great face. Anyway.
It was a rape face.
What? So Spencer will more than likely be coming back into the community as a real member now. I don't think he'll make it all that long. He might make this season. So what was everybody's favorite moment of this episode?
When Rick put the CD in and Daryl was like, no, please no. And I was like, I wonder what it's going to be. Either he doesn't want to waste the gas by turning the radio on, or it's going to be something really bad. I thought Rick was going to start singing.
He did.
Yeah.
He sang 2 or 3, 2 lines.
It was like talking lines, but
yeah.
He didn't sing. He said it draws them away from home.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was part of the song.
No, it wasn't. We had subtitles on.
Yeah, it was part of the song. It draws them away from home.
Yeah.
If I look at this episode as some sort of parody of The Walking Dead, then all of the adventures of Rick and Daryl were pretty funny. But watching it as a fan of The Walking Dead, it's nerve-wracking to watch them act like a bunch of jackasses.
I think my favorite scene was probably when they went ahead and smashed open the vending machine. At least they got some win. Because I thought, like, oh, they might never find the truck again. But no, the part where they smash it open and they finally, like, they get a small win, but all the sodas are all broken except for one. Funny enough, maybe that's not my favorite scene. Maybe my favorite scene was where they tie him up on the side of the road and then he throws the can at him in case you get thirsty.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely comedy. I think that is pretty much this episode in review and recap.
Unfortunately.
There wasn't much review on this episode.
That's all for this time. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Like us on Facebook.
Leave us some comments.
Leave us comments. Give us the like. Share it with your friends. Send us messages. What would you like us to go over in these videos? And what do you like seeing? You can even send us questions, and we will answer them in our next videos. We'll read off your username or what have you. So, I'm Ken.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Anastasia.
And we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!